So hi there, welcome to stage 10 of the legendary Cybercop. I've got that all wrong. The legendary, let's read it, shall we? Build the legendary Cyborg Robocop. So today is the 22nd of December. It is 3 days until Christmas. Now you should have seen by now I have an advent calendar coming out. It's been out for a few weeks now, and that finishes on the 24th of December, and on Christmas Day I will begin a new build. This means that my channel is taking a 2-week break from the conventional filming that I do, so no part works, no scale models, just something a bit fun, a little bit silly maybe. So Robocop is going to return with issue 11 on the 12th of January. Because I do my Robocops on a Friday, it also means this is my last conventional video of 2023. Next time you see me on my normal videos, it will be 2024. So shall we see if I can make this one of my best videos of 2023?
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
So hi guys, this is stage 10 of the Robocop build. I won't try saying the full title because I messed it up before. So let's have a look at the parts. We have part 10A, very nicely molded. Look, there's a lot of strength to that. So we say about metal for strength, but actually these plastic parts, they're fairly strong as well. So that's called the upper part of the wrist joint. 10B is a BT stick. Oh, do you know what? That plastic is so good I almost thought it was metal. So this is the wrist joint. 10C is a little, looks like a propeller blade. 10C is the joint support, and I think we can see how this is going. Now 10B and 10A look very similar, but they're different sizes. 10D is the larger friction block. 10E has just been lost. I think, right, I can see it on the floor. Bear with me one sec, guys. So my aim to make this the best video of 2023 is not going as planned. But yeah, so we've got, I'll put it on my hand, that. So this is the larger, and they've called it larger, and I like that naming. 10D larger friction block, 10E smaller friction block. I'm going to have trouble picking those up, aren't I? And then we've got two types of screw. We've got BP screw. There's 4 in the bag. There's 4 in the picture, and it just says BP screws. And then CP screws, we have 4 in the bag. We have a picture of 4 of them in the magazine, and they just call them CP screws. So let's see what we've got. Whoa! So we've got a big exploded diagram for stage 1. And I can see that we're going to take part. I'm just going to call them by their numbers. So we've got 10A, then 10B goes in smaller end first. So that's going to make a joint. We then need to put our smaller friction cap on, which I cannot pick up. That's going over the top. Then we have our larger friction cap. That goes over the top of that one. And then we finish that off with 10C joint support, and I'm looking for, right, so the way we fix this, it's, I can't, yes, it might be there. Right, it's these two raised holes and then this sunken one, which looks a bit strange to me. That doesn't fit well. I wonder if it might be better if... Oh, that smaller friction cap. Right, that larger one, that larger friction cap has gone into there. So it might be easier to place that into there. And then the smaller one can go into that. And then I'm going to have a closer look at the instructions because I want to see how it's fitting. It doesn't look like it's fitting that well. I wonder if... Ah! That's why it didn't fit. So there's a small notch there. Don't know if you can see that. So there must be a small hole in there. There's a small hole there. So that tells us which way around. That's why it didn't fit. Now what I need to do, because I've put those in there, I'm going to bring this part onto that. So let's line that up. Don't need to get it exact, but we'll... There we go. Right, it's still not a brilliant fit, but I think that's going to kind of bend in place. So I've made a slight boo-boo because I can't let go of this now. So maybe get your CP screws ready first, but to recover this, I'm going to need some masking tape. And that's just going to hold that in place while I get my screw. So I'll cover it with masking tape, making sure at least one of those screw holes is exposed. Once we get one screw in, we can take the tape off and that will hold. So CP screws at the ready. Just need 3. You know how it goes, you either get one or you get all of them. So let's see. There we go, got 3 out of the bag. Right, so CP screw, and we'll find that exposed screw hole. And what I'm aiming to do here is just put it in. I can't get it in. We're going to just pop that in just enough to hold, because where we've got these parts that are wiggling about, I want to just make sure they're in correctly before I screw it down tight. So that one part is in. I've actually managed to expose a second screw hole, and I think if they'd have done screw holes opposite, I think that would have sufficed, but you know what they're like, they give us more than enough screws. You know, 3 when 2 would have done. So pop that third screw in. This is a little bit fiddly, and this is perhaps the best build out of this pack because it does require a little bit of brain power and thinking, which I like, and its potential to make, well, they've all got potential to make mistakes, but this has got a lot more. Right, so those 3 screws are just screwed in enough to bite, and I've got pretty good movement there. Happy enough with that. The little notch is lined up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to now fully tighten the screws either side of the notch, keeping an eye on that notch as I do it. In fact, I'm not going to fully screw them. I'm going to put them almost in. That notch is, yep, that's still in place. So then we can fully tighten the third one. A couple of screws to catch up, and then a few more screws to fully tighten that. And just keep screwing until the resistance changes. And then once we've got this in, we'll have a little play and a little test, and then we can just adjust the screws as we see fit. We're going to need movement. It's intended to have movement. Oh, that's very stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back each of those screws off about 1/4 of a turn, trying to keep them even. Again, I have this problem. That's still stiff. If you back the screws off too much, it becomes very loose, and the finished model will be very floppy. But if you have it too tight, you're not going to be able to move it. This is fairly difficult. I would expect if you're about 3 or 4 you wouldn't have the strength to move it, but if you're sort of a child, teenager age, you could. So I think that's going to be fine. If it's all wrong, I'm just going to have to take the whole thing apart and adjust it at a later stage. Right, so next we need to take our assembly from stage 9, and nice, 3 screws, 3 screw holes. That means it can only go in one way, and also, oh, I saw a flat bit, so let's see how this goes. Right, there we go, look. There's 3 ways you can put this in because of the 3 tabs there. There's that way, which is obviously wrong, and then there's this way, which is even more wrong than the last one. We'll pop it in that way. Perfect, look. So once again, I've not got my screws ready, so I need 3 BP screws, and I'll just get the first one ready. So again, we'll pop this in. He looks a little bit like Captain Hook now, doesn't he? Right, so let's get that first screw in. It's a bit dark in there, hard to see, but that's fine. That's in. Right, so I've only put it in about halfway, as I normally do. I know most of you probably just go straight in, put the screw in fully, and you have absolutely no problems. I just think if you put them in about halfway, it just gives you a chance just to check things and adjust if necessary. And you usually find, if you do these little checks, you find nothing needs adjusting. But that one time you don't do it, you'll get that problem and you don't understand what's happened, or you think the parts don't fit properly. I've seen YouTubers before, and they're complaining because the parts aren't fitting, and all it is they've misaligned the piece 0.5 millimeter. It really doesn't take much. See, another thing I didn't check was the movement on that stump. Can I call it a stump? Right. There we go. There we go. Right. So, yeah, I would say I've probably got that the right tightness. Look, you can see it's holding the weight of the arm, but I can move it. Now, obviously, once it's finished, there'll be more of an arm there, so I'll be position it like that, which actually would be easier to do. But yeah, I've got a good range of movement there. The only thing stopping it from moving more is the actual shape of the piece, not the peg. So there we go. Really, really nice. So it's the end of the pack. Shall we do a recap? So let's have a look at all the pieces that we've got, and I'm really happy with the way it's going now. Now, first of all, an apology. I've put my because I've been doing my room, I've been packing a lot of stuff away, and my head is somewhere. It's safe, but it's not here, so I can't show you the head. Now, obviously, we worked on the head in no particular order. We've worked on the head. We've worked on the foot, which is very nice. And do you know what? We didn't know how tight to make this. I would say they're similar tightness. Hello, is that shadow come to join me? But that's probably all right. And then we've got these pectoral armor plates, which I can't figure out which way. Is it that way they go? And they're all really nice. Oh, and then we've also got the hand, and I think a lot of people really did like the hand. Someone did comment on it was a bit unusual to have the springs. They don't spring back, but there's obviously some boffin university genius has worked this out. I'm still not convinced with that joint, you know. Whatever's, I mean, that's not going in there. because that's going to go be the arm. But I'm prepared to have to take this. This does come apart, doesn't it? I'm prepared to have to loosen that later on. But what I'm finding really nice now, I want to work on one area and work from that area, and now we've done that with this. So we've got from the shoulder down to about the elbow, and let's have a little look at the so look, you can see we've worked on this arm, and oh, that bit is going to go into the hand. So yeah, so we obviously, if we carry on the way we are, in a few issues we're going to be connecting that hand, so that's another piece that's not going to be sitting around loose. Hopefully we'll then work on the foot and work up from the foot. You know, even if I'm sitting there, you know, when I'm halfway through the build, I'm looking, I would like to have half a Robocop as opposed to lots and lots of pieces. Do you agree with me? By all means tell me. But look, that is stage 10 done. That's the end of stage 10. It's the end of this box, this pack. It's also the end of 2023. So listen guys, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I know I'm saying this on a few videos, but I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you get everything you deserve to get and more. I hope you have wonderful Christmas dinner, because that's what it's all about, and all the other things. And I will see you in 2024 when hopefully I can make a video without too much hassle. So take care guys, and thanks for being with me in 2023.